you believe that we started recording right in the middle of 2020 with all of the COVID and lockdowns going on around us, unable to meet up? So like many a young gentleman, we turned to the internet for our entertainment. Tried to find a place where we could meet up and talk about the good, the bad, and that time that Stu saw a pelican on the canal. In order to facilitate our dreams of answering all of the big questions in film, and after a few attempts at recording via other methods to various levels of success, we found Zencastr, a super easy web-based one-stop shop for recording. Log in and you're ready to record in a matter of seconds. It doesn't take a tech genius to get high quality audio or video. And on top of that, the one time we have had an issue, the fact that the multi-layered backups are stored locally means it's easily fixed all in browser. There are plenty of tools you need when you start podcasting, so let Zencastr take that headache away, as it offers a place to record, edit and distribute all from one website. Any lazy bones Jones can pick up and play and have studio quality audio or 4K video put out for the world to see when using Zencastr. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code CAGEFIGHTING and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same easy experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. And now, hit the music. Hello and welcome to Cage Fighting. It's your main man, Andy Gillard here. Hope everybody's keeping well this chilly December.
Wagwan, hello. Bring a bit of heat to warm you all up. Hello.
How do I follow that? even in all?
I didn't even plan that. That just came at my head.
We could tell.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Right, so because it's that time of year, we're going to try and condense things. Last year we did the past, present and future. We're doing that again. We're going to record it all in one go and then I'm going to divvy it up. So if it sounds a little bit weird to you, that's the explanation as to why. This week is going to be obviously starting with the Ghost of Christmas Past. I've got 3 questions to ask each one. They should be shorter episodes. I say that knowing full well that me and Stu have just finished recording the second half to this podcast, which went on for 45 minutes. So probably not.
Strap in.
So, episode 1, Christmas Past. If the Ghost of Christmas Past dragged you back, what would be your earliest film or film-related memory? This can be a trip to the cinema. This can be watching a VHS at home. Ed, I think you're an 85 baby, so it would be VHS as well.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or film toys, anything like that. Ed, what's your earliest film memory?
What I picked out my earliest memory is the first time I went to the cinema. I remember going to the cinema anyway, which was for Home Alone 2. So it's very apt for Christmas, which I think 92 or 93.
Something like that, yeah.
92, the first one was 90.
I definitely went to the cinema to watch Jungle Book when I was younger than that, but I fell asleep within about 10 to 15 minutes of being in the cinema. And I've still never managed to watch Jungle Book all the way through because for whatever reason, it's like my kryptonite. And whether I'm in the cinema or at home, I fall asleep during it, even though it's quite a good film. I've never watched it all the way through. But yes, my first cinema trip, because it was quite a big thing as a kid for me to go to the cinema. That was the first one I remember. And it was Home Alone 2. And it's probably started my love of Christmas films, but also the need to go to New York one year and just do the whole thing. But it was just magical. I think I didn't like popcorn, so I remember getting a box of Smarties. I also remember that. The only place you could get Smarties in a box was at the cinema. And it was brilliant. I'd never been to the cinema before. I'd never seen a screen that big. And obviously Home Alone 1 was already a classic, and Home Alone 2, one of those rare films where, for me, the sequel's better than the original.
I mean, I fully credit Home Alone 2 for the reason that I've been to New York for the last 4 or 5 years in a row. that's where my obsession with New York came from. Like, absolutely. Getting to see the Christmas tree at the Rockefeller Center, like, it is magic. It's full of fucking pickpockets, but it's magic. Like, it is just phenomenal. Weirdly enough, I was talking to our friend Goldie earlier about John Candy and Macaulay Culkin, and as a kid, like, they were two of my favourite actors. So I've got all the time in the world for Home Alone. I usually watch it on my birthday, which is in May, just because I love it. I know it's a Christmas film, but it feels appropriate any time of the year.
Talking about VHSs, definitely wore that out, Home Alone 2, to the point where I knew when it would warp and it would go a bit funny. So that was one of the things I think I got maybe the next Christmas, was Home Alone 1 and 2 on a very early box set on VHS. It was, I think there would have been Disney films and other things that were probably on at home before then, but my first cinema trip was Home Alone 2.
Did you ever have the Talk Boy? I always wanted one.
I wanted one. I circled it every year in the Argos book, but that was far too expensive for a working class family in Rowley Regis. There was no way I was getting that anytime soon.
Terrible.
Yeah,
I'm going to have a look on eBay because I would still like one if I'm honest.
I tried to explain it the other day and explain what a cassette was to Jacob, my 10-year-old, and it blew his mind, so I stopped trying.
There's a guy on I saw on Instagram who's got a 19-year-old daughter, and he puts he tries to get her to. He tried it with a rotary phone yesterday. No idea. He pressed through the things. The Talk Boy, they actually made it after the film because it was a prop. I always thought as a kid that this is obviously it's just an advert for this toy, but it wasn't. It was the other way around for a change. Shocking.
So I'm on eBay, and if you'd like to speak to your good lady about buying you a Talk Boy, she can get it for that says repairs one. If you want it for repairs or repair, for £165.
Wow.
If you want one that works, you're looking between £360 up to as much as £450 for a Talk Boy.
Wow. For a medium, you probably can't even buy anymore either.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Those analog the physical media people never die. You could. I'm amazed if you look at all the stuff that you can get in Lego form that then no one's done it yet.
It's a good point. Yeah. Dear me, £500. Some of them 618. Oh.
And all I'm going to do in it is say the word credit card. You got it, and just keep playing it back over and over again. But £500 to do that doesn't sound that bad, actually.
I mean, I think I've mentioned it before. I mean, I had a dictaphone at school, maybe sixth form. Why wouldn't you?
No, you answer why you would.
Yeah,
I just wanted one, so I got one.
Okay,
it was. I think it was sixth form because, when you get to Argos or Index to get your scientific calculator, and it was there. So I got it from one of them. I can't remember which one. I remember the I recorded the audio of the last ever episode of Noel's House Party on one of them.
That's the most 90s sentence that might have ever been uttered.
But then on the other, who cares? On the other side of it, because obviously it's a two-sided tape. On the
it's going to be filthy, isn't it?
Where's this going?
Yeah, it was a literal sex tape of just moans.
Oh dear God!
She knew it wasn't like a trap or anything. She knew. She was also the same age as us, so she knew what a dictaphone was.
So it was
she
POV without the P.
Yeah, exactly.
Or V.
It was phone sex without the cost.
It was phone sex, but you've got to fucking
you can't put that
send a self-addressed envelope.
You can't put that in the car though, and make sure you got the right. The block needs to be on the right side because you can't.
Oh no, they were the tiny little tapes. I never had the big adapter to put it into a big one.
Okay.
So they only played through that, and there was a wire to like put if you wanted to plug it into a stereo or something. But no, I never jacked off to myself before that question comes out. So just clarify right away.
And that's jacked off for our American listeners.
But it's probably is Talk Boy related. Like I always wanted something like that. So
That didn't happen in Home Alone.
No, it didn't. Stu, what's your first? I fucking dread to ask you this question. Your first film memory, please.
There's 3 though. There's one. My first cinema memory was Jurassic Park at Showcase. Because I remember.
Was that like 95?
3.
93.
93?
Yeah, so I was 9.
Feels a bit old for that. I'd thought you'd have had an earlier one. That is all.
I mean, I don't remember. I mean, I might have done. But we all went. So, and my sister being 4 years younger than me, you know, seeing Jurassic Park at that age, terrified. There was my first memory of a film being on was in a caravan in Rhyl when I was ill and I had to have suppositories, which was not fun. Even as a kid, I remember that not being a fun thing. And and my nan was watching Temple of Doom on the telly in the caravan. Merry Christmas, everyone.
And they went to the Temple of Doom as well, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How ill were you to need suppositories?
I had some, like, you know, them breathing tube things that you had, like, that you had to blow into when you had, like, different,
Like
obviously, area of the body.
stuff.
Yeah. It was like I had like a tight throat thing as a kid. So, on both ways. So, I don't know why that's the beginning of the thing. And then, oh, yeah, you'll grow out of it. And both ways, grow out of both. I was all okay in the end. But yeah. But the first film I remember watching was Love Bug. Just to bring it back. Just some Christmas PG-ness. Andy is red. Andy looks like Hellboy now, by the way.
We are 10 minutes in and we've had Stu's tight sphincters.
I'm drinking Monster today as well. I haven't had a beer.
Drinking Monster just before 10 o'clock. This man is a rebel beyond all.
Jesus.
Yeah, so
Temple of Doom suppositories was one of the memories. There's one more. There's one more, I think, wasn't there?
Love Bug, Herbie film.
Bug. Okay,
great film. That's the first film I remember watching properly. Because Granddad taped it, and we used to watch it all the time.
Oh, should have gone first.
Follow that, Andy. Follow that.
Dear me, that's... You know, you laugh so much like it hurts a little bit. I think that happened. Oh, I don't know the fuck to say anymore. Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, my earliest film memory. I remember as a kid. This would have been before I'd even seen the Star Wars films. I remember being in a high chair, and one of my Christmas presents was one of the Star Wars characters, figure toys, and it was the one. I think it was actually Luke, and you know where he's wearing the red, where he's about to be a pilot in the film. That was the first one. I remember that, and the one who had those weird fucking long ear things that wrapped around his body. One of Jabba the Hutt's.
Bib Fortuna.
Bib Fortuna, that's the one. I had those two toys. Like, that's one of my earliest memories is these toys. And I don't even... Like, I'm almost certain I wouldn't have seen Star Wars at that point. I would have probably been, like, 3, maybe. 2 even, potentially. So there's that. I remember going to see Snow White, and I remember the film because they did a re-release in, like, 87, something like that. And I also remember Bigfoot and the Hendersons. Like, this is my first vivid memory of being at the cinema. Because there's a bit where John Lithgow tells him to go away. I don't like you anymore. Go away. And I remember bawling my fucking eyes
It's
out.
heartbreaking.
Like proper. The person, like, I remember the cinema being full. I don't know if it was, but I remember it being full. And the guy who was sat right in front turned round and was like, "Don't worry, he does come back." It was like really comforting of this kid. Like, he obviously didn't know me or anything, but like, he was just really comforting because my heart was just completely broken. I've never been able to watch it since. Yeah, spoilers for a 34-year-old film. Like, I've never been able to watch it since. Like that and My Girl, I'll never watch those films again.
Oh God, yeah.
Can't be done.
I mean, did you watch Turtles in the cinema? Because I don't remember if I did or not.
Not the first
No.
one. I think, if I remember correctly, I don't know if it was released properly, because I remember getting it on like a dodgy VHS. You know, you have to like put VHSs next to each other and record one from the other. That's how I saw the original Turtles film. I remember seeing the second and the third time was the third film was the first time I ever went to see a film on my own with a friend rather than with my parents.
It's the one where they go back in time.
3.
That's the third one.
I would definitely went to the cinema for that one.
There's a new original TMNT 4K Blu-ray box set. They're all remastered. So that's. I'm still waiting on my Thunderbirds one. That's not 4K. That's just. But they've all been properly remastered at last, and they're in proper ratio and everything. But it's still just saying winter. So who knows when that appears?
Yeah.
But so I did remember. I remember watching the 1966 Batman on a couch going to Blackpool as well. So on the tiny couch tellies, but I don't remember. I don't know when that would have been. So it's all kind of a muddle.
I remember coming back from some away game, watching Train Spotting on the coach video player, and being far too young to be watching Train Spotting at the time. It was massively inappropriate watching a dead baby crawl across the ceiling. Very strange. Which Christmas movie from your childhood has aged the worst and why, Stu?
I mean, I don't really care about this stuff anyway. So it's objective for the sake of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm guessing Love Actually is not great, is it? I mean, it's a bit. I mean, considering I only watched it a couple of years ago anyway, so and I was like, this is a bit on the nose. But there's a bit in White Christmas apparently where they do a minstrel thing.
Oh yeah,
and I haven't seen White Christmas for years, and I've never seen this.
It's been taken out of newer renderings of it.
Yeah, so just for the fact that I've never seen the proper version of White Christmas, which I've now need to remedy, it has to be there. I mean, that is very old as well, but still, you can't be having minstrels in the snow.
I feel like there are a few like that. Was it Holiday Inn? I think did similar.
It's the same, almost the same story as well, isn't it? With White Christmas is in both. Holiday Inn was the first film that White Christmas the song was in.
Oh, okay.
Then it was made into its own little film, but it was pretty much the exact same retelling of the same story, even with the same. I think Bing Crosby's in both of them. I think.
Oh, I didn't realise that. Ed, what have you got?
Yeah, I had Love Actually. Just every single female character in that movie is either a damsel in distress, cheated on, or useless. And it or portrayed to be useless, I should say, including Emma Thompson being cheated on by Alan Rickman while she's making a lobster suit. I think the problem you have with that movie is that it's definitely of its time, but also it's just sort of it's written by Richard Curtis at the end of sort of his big run of big films, and I think he obviously had the idea, but it wasn't fully fleshed out, and obviously doesn't age very well. The other one I've written down, which is I didn't watch it when it came out, but I've watched it since. Is with Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis. Is Christmas with the Cranks, which is basically just you have to spoil your kids, spend loads of money, or you're ostracized by everyone that knows you because you aren't spending crazy American money on having the big soiree you normally have, and you're selfish for wanting to do something for yourself when your kids left and you've flown the nest and that kind of stuff. So that probably now, I think probably this side of being a dad and he's 10 and like thinking actually a lot of kids are like, what can I get next? And grab. I guess that is sort of the American capitalist movie, I guess. And the only other one I had down, which again is Tim Allen, is the Santa Claus, which is just it's a bad film, but also you have to murder Santa to become Santa. Just the premise just doesn't make any sense.
Did you see the specials that they did? Was it last year or the year before on Disney Plus? And because I watched all three of them films, obviously, and I watched 2 of them of the series, and it was just you could see no one wanted to be involved. Really, they're just doing it for the money, and it was terrible. It was really bad.
Have either of you seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation? I haven't seen it for years. I kind of wonder how that's aged because Chevy Chase is a very difficult person to appreciate in the modern day.
It's not. It's fine. I don't think there's anything. Them films are just silly, both of them. And they're just a normal vacation as well. Or obviously it's artist.
I saw that not too long ago, to be fair, and that was still decent. But yeah, I haven't seen.
I don't think it's got any overtly probably woke agendas type stuff now. I don't think.
No,
for the want of a better phrase, it is just very daft slapstick. I don't remember any. I mean, I watched the 40 Towers episode the other day, and that is difficult to watch in 2025 lens if you don't know the era of the time.
Yeah. Sorry, Stu.
No, I was going to say I had. I mean, talking about era of the time, Bad Santa, but that was intentional. So
yeah, it was bad taste even then, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was the whole point of it.
Yeah,
and you've got a black dwarf. I mean, even the second one's pretty. It's not nowhere near as good, but it's funny still. It's just not on for obvious reasons.
The 2 that I've got on my list, one is Jack Frost, but that's mostly because it's a dog shit film. But it's kind of funny in a way. I don't think it's aged badly. I think it's just always been kind of bad. The one that I do think has it hasn't aged particularly well is Trading Places. I think casual sexism, blackface, like it's all a little bit too broad and throwaway, and it feels kind of tone deaf. Like I don't know. I wonder if it would have felt tone deaf then, because it does feel like it's bordering on like outright racism rather than it being a joke. So I don't know, but that was the one that sort of sprang to my mind. It feels a bit icky. I think it's the only way I can put it. It just doesn't. That's
kind of the point, though, wasn't it? I think of that.
Yeah,
film,
that's
wasn't it?
Because he's the way he looks at him. He's like, "What were you doing?" And that's what I always thought with that film. That's why I always every time it gets cancelled or shown in the middle of the night, it's like, well, that's the entire point of the film is that he's a fool and he's being shown up. And even Jamie Lee Curtis's characters are obviously better than them.
The hooker with a heart of gold trope.
Yeah,
like it just feels a bit grubby.
It wouldn't be made now.
Yeah, maybe it's because it's
never forget.
Like you need that kind of thing in order to get to where we are now, because obviously it's all about Wall Street and it is sort of anti-capitalism, or at least pointing out that the capitalist world is not ideal. Right, top 5 Christmas songs that don't mention the word Christmas. Ed.
Well, we've already touched on Home Alone, but one of mine is Jingle Bell Rock, mostly because of its use in Home Alone. I don't think I've ever heard it outside the context of both Home Alones. It's in both of them. It's just a great song, but it just reminds me of both of those movies, so that's why it's on there for me. And for my next one, I've got a bit of a classic, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. That's just fun to croon to when you're on your own doing the washing up. That's definitely one that I like. And although I think, but my personal favourite, and it's the best Christmas song music video, is Little Drummer Boy with Bing Crosby and David Bowie in some lovely knitwear and some awful acting at the start. But I really like that song. I think it's hilarious that they did it. And when you watch if you ever watch the music video, you can see Bing Crosby looking at this weird bloke whose eyes don't match, and he's like, I don't know if I know you or if I should know you, but you're new money, I'm old money, and I don't know if I like you or not. But
I bet he 100% called him a slur off stage. Like, I just put money on it.
yeah, whilst smoking his pipe, probably wondering what the hell David Bowie was smoking. But they're my three.
More, Ed? Sorry. Yeah.
No, they're my three.
Oh, you three. Did I say 3 or 5?
You said 3.
We can do 5.
We can do 5 if you want. I'm sure I've got more.
I've got 5. I mean, one of them's a reach, to be fair. But if you've got more, Ed, crack on.
No, I don't. But I'm sure we can talk around them.
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously got 5.
I mean, I imagine you didn't have to look far to find your Christmas playlist, Stu.
No. I've got my own curated YouTube Christmas playlist. So
of course you have.
Although YouTube maybe getting revanced wasn't the best idea, because I had to turn off Play Protect to get the latest version of it, and then look what happened to Twitter. So maybe it was a bad version of revanced, but maybe there's a lesson there. I'm guessing Fairy Tale of New York's on yours anyway.
It wasn't, but it probably should have been, to be fair.
I thought that was a slam dunk, the easy one. The love it or hate it Christmas song.
No, I've gone with no mention,
that's why
Christmas
I didn't say it
at all. Not just in the title, because like the opening line is, "It was Christmas Eve, babe."
Yeah, and Merry Christmas, dear arse.
Wasn't
that last
task.
That's how I read it.
Yeah. That don't mention the word Christmas. So I didn't specify, in fairness, so that's fine. But yeah, what I meant was no Christmas whatsoever, but that's fine.
I mean, if you go no Christmas whatsoever, I mean, you just stay another day, obviously.
Tune.
Of course.
And Walking in the Air. Again, it's class.
Is it?
Yeah. The fact that, I mean, I've said that before about when we in one of the Christmas dress ups, when I went as a snowman and I had little speakers sewn into my into the sides of me, and walk into Molly from the Emerald Club with Walking in the Airplane out of my sides. It's good.
And then the dictaphone on the other side with the sex tape.
Well, that's it. I'm guessing it was. Oh no, it was Goldie's mini disc player, I think. Such was the time. I mean, I did have Underneath the Tree, but if we're going to take that away, then we can't have that either. Great song.
Yeah. I'm surprised Two Become One isn't on there. Not strictly Christmas, but
no.
I
Christmas
don't
#1,
feel.
though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't feel you can have it. Like you can have a Christmas sing song without Two Become One. It feels exceptionally Christmassy.
Great pop song.
Yeah, and Jerry in that green top as well in that video.
I was always more of a Victoria fan myself.
Well, Ginger Spice all day.
Yeah.
No. Killing in the Name, Rage Against the Machine. it does kind of mean something. It doesn't. Obviously, the song isn't Christmassy, but with it being pushed to the top of the charts as a protest vote against what pop music had definitely become during the noughties and teens. Like, again, it sort of has meaning. 2,000 Miles, Pretenders, really nice winterval kind of song, lovely. E17, I've also got that on my list. And Baby It's Cold Outside might be my favourite proper Christmassy song.
That's a weird song, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's 100% weird.
The Tom
bit
Jones.
I did see like an actual defense of like how it's not rapey, but like it's one of those things that I think if you listen to it now, there are things that mean something else to what they would have done 50 odd years ago.
A bit like the controversial line in Fairy Tale of New York as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It just means something else. And
What about Only You, the Flying Pickets?
Oh, that's a belter, that is. Yeah, I really like that song. That definitely feels Christmassy. And I don't like. Was that a Christmas number one? Because I associate it with the Office Christmas special, which is why I'd say it was a Christmas song.
It was always on the Christmas albums years before The Office came out.
Okay, because that's my association to it. But I would agree that it feels Christmassy nonetheless.
And the one from the awful Christmas Carol, What If?
Yeah, that's very Christmassy. The Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with all those choices as well. So we're going to end it here, and we'll be talking about Samurai Cop after the break. Thanks for joining us for the second half of the podcast. We've got Samurai Cop to discuss shortly, but Stu, I managed to get round to watching Fire, Ice and Dynamite, as you mentioned last week.
Yes.
What a terrible film that I fucking enjoyed the hell. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We get some random breakdown dance music scene out of nowhere for no good reason. We've got James Bond dressed up as a Scotsman. And that was quite obvious that was, I was going to say Sean Connery. It's not Sean Connery. It's Roger Moore. It was so obvious that it was Roger Moore playing the Scottish butler from the beginning that I assumed that we were all in on the joke, but I'm guessing that wasn't the point of the film. It was not a surprise at the end when he unveiled himself.
This is the answer to all our problems. Then he jumps out the plane.
It was absolutely ridiculous, and I kind of hate the fact that it's taken me so long to get around to watching it, especially because, like you said, it's available on YouTube, so it costs nothing.
Look how many views it's actually had as well, considering it's been there for 4 years.
I never clocked that, to be fair. Let's have a quick move.
With its German name as well.
Fire, Ice and Dynamite. Fire, Ice and Dynamite. 54,000 views. I was watching it and I thought, I know this film. And I don't think I do, but I feel like either this has taken inspiration from other things, because it kind of felt like I've seen bits of this film in a lot of other things. And I don't know whether this is like based on those tropes or those tropes are based on this. I don't quite know which come first. But it did feel very recognisable, like it was like slipping on a pair of old slippers. It was very known to me, this film was, without having actually seen it.
It's live action wacky races. This is what it is.
I was trying to remember. Was it Mouse Hunt, which was similar? Which was that was what I kept thinking it was that at first. And I was like, no, because that's the one with Mr. Bean in, isn't it? And it was just getting confused in my head because, like I say, it felt so recognisable.
No, Mouse Hunt's got Lee Evans.
What's the one I'm thinking of with Rowan Atkinson? Because there was a similar thing with him.
Yes, I know the one. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I thought that was called Mouse Hunt, but maybe not. Then I'm guessing.
I know the exact film that you're on about.
Yeah, I'm going to have to Google it because that will annoy the shit out of me.
Rat Race.
Mouse Hunt, Rat Race. That's close enough.
Yeah.
That is close enough.
Me and Goldie went to watch that at cinema, Rat Race.
I think I saw it on like DVD years later. It might have even been when Netflix was doing DVD still. I think that was when I saw it.
Yeah. It was fun that way. I mean, it was basically just Cannonball Run, which is...
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's nothing new. They're not reinventing the wheel, but doesn't need to, does it?
Did you notice all the German brands as well in Forest Dynamite?
Yeah. The product placement and everything was German. Was like, okay, so that's why it's got the German name on there, because clearly it's the Hasselhoff of the film world, isn't it?
And Simon Shepherd out of peak practice, mincing around.
It was borderline offensive. Like it just was. They really played with some questionable stereotypes, I felt, in parts. But then, like, what year was that film? What year was it released, Stu? I never.
It feels like 90.
90.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 1990. So, like, it hasn't aged well, but I don't know if it would have been particularly good at the time either.
No, it doesn't need to.
Definitely enjoyed myself watching it, which I wasn't expecting to be honest, but it was a lot of fun.
You should just trust the process. I mean, the fact that we found this in, I think it was about £4 on DVD in game in the the bargain bucket that they used to have.
Yes.
In the middle of the shop, it was in there, and is it for obviously the DVD cover had Roger Moore's face on with a blue background.
And that was enough.
Well, that's enough. £4, why not? It'll be a laugh. And I think it was after. Remember that film that he did on the boat where he was a gay sailor?
I do.
With Cuba Gooding Jr.
I want to say Anchors Up, but I don't think that's the one. I think that might be something else. I vaguely remember it, but for the life of me, I can't tell you what it was called.
I think we'd seen that pretty recently, so it was on a bit of a Roger Moore boat trip. Yeah,
that was the one with Cuba. Yeah,
because he comes in onto the screen and goes cha cha cha, and I thought, if he's gonna be camp in this film as well, then yeah, and he was. Like everyone was.
I don't think I've ever seen him not be camp. Like I genuinely I don't know what he was like off screen, but I get the impression that the Roger Moore we got on screen was very similar to the Roger Moore off screen. At least that's sort of how he's portrayed. Because everything I've seen him in, he's basically doing a variation of that type of character.
I think he very much...
And it's great.
Yeah.
It's fun, but yeah.
He very much learnt into it later on. Because if you watch... I mean, I haven't seen it for a long time, but the episodes of The Saint, which is obviously why he got cast as Bond anyway, he's actually really good at that. Like, really serious, not pissing about. So he could obviously do it at one point. And, well, he had this thing that way about him, which was more funny. So why not? And there's two, I mean, they put it up, I saw it a couple of months ago, where he just appears on the doorway in Noel's house party. And he has this whole 10-minute monologue. And it's amazing. Like, he doesn't stop. There's no auto cue. He's just remembered it all. And he's just there riffing with Noel. And it's as 90s as hell. But you see, he's begged to be on this show.
Yeah, I get the impression that he probably would have been, because he fucking loves it, or loved it, should I say. He was just leaning very much into that throughout the latter part of his career. And it was great fun. So yeah, no issues at all with it. Yeah, I enjoyed it, Stu. I'm glad I finally got round to watching it.
Add it to the Christmas rotational.
Yeah, because there is, obviously I know that it's set on the snowy peaks of wherever, but it does kind of feel Christmassy because it's all about a message of a family unity and all that stuff at the end of it. So yeah, I can see that as a Christmas film completely.
It's like the Last Christmas music video.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% with you on that one.
Because that's why when I always watch it early, like obviously recording this on Thanksgiving, so Planes, Trains and Automobiles, that's around that time. I watched that earlier in the week. but that's when I normally watch Forest and Dynamite before Christmas kicks in as a build-up film.
Oh,
When
okay.
it's on its
It's a
time.
segue.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
but there's no segue into Samurai Cop.
I'm gonna say, like,
none in the
I
world.
can't think of like a snarky, clever way of going from that to this. Wow. So yeah, we said last week we're going to continue on with Absurd Autumn because we've got a few weeks to fill, and I was having a great time. So Samurai Cop is the 1991 film. Samurai Cop follows Detective Joe Marshall, played by Matt Hannon, later credited as Matthew Caradis, a police officer supposedly trained in Japan, brought to LA to help dismantle the Katana Gang, a ruthless Yakuza syndicate controlling drugs, gambling and prostitution. Alongside his partner Frank Washington, played by Mark Fraser, Joe wages war against the gang's leader Fujiyama and his enforcer Yamashita. The film mixes shootouts, sword fights, and awkward romance, all delivered with suitable dialogue and bizarre pacing. Despite its ambitious, gritty action thriller, the film's technical flaws, visible wigs, continuity errors, and laughable fight choreography turn it into an unintentional comedy. I don't think I've ever had to start talking about a film, but before I talk about it, we need to talk about that wig.
Well, I was really confused because obviously there's times in there where his hair is amazing.
Yeah.
And I thought when I went on the usual place of the IMDb trivia and they realised they hadn't got enough footage, so they had to call him back, but he'd already cut it all off. And then they got a woman's wig. That was the closest thing they could possibly find. And I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. So going from his real luscious hair, which is the best hair I've ever seen on film ever, anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Spectacular,
to this nylon monstrosity that looks like he's got out of the shower where he's dry. There's one point where it looks like it's coming off, and they keep the shot in there.
Like, literally, the first time we see him, he walks around the corner with his partner, the black cop, Frank. And he's wearing a cap and the wig. And immediately, like, that doesn't look right. Because it was quite obvious a wig. And, like, you've started me off with this. I've seen the pictures. I know it's not a wig because I've seen other stuff. So the confusion was reigning immediately in this movie. And I think it sets it up perfectly because everything in this film is utterly fucking crazy. The opening scene being a fight chase thing that's going on. Like, they're in cars and they've got the female officer who's in the helicopter. It should feel frenetic and fast paced, but nothing is moving. Like, clearly she's in a helicopter on the ground. And there's no movement to the helicopter.
They're just pointing the camera up so you can get the sky in the background.
Yeah. The amount of times that they're driving around, but you can tell they're doing like 25 miles an hour. There's no speed at all to any of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel fast paced. They have whole segments where no fucker's talking. They're just sat there in the car driving, dead silent. What are you doing? This is not an exciting start to the film. But what I did like was that scene when they are talking. Stu, I've got 7 pages front and back of notes before I even get to the categories that we've got to discuss. The female officer, in her first conversation with Samurai Cop, she says, you need to keep it up. He replies, it is up. Keep it warm. And she replies, oh, it is warm and ready. And then he winks at the camera. Just the irresistible sex that he's oozing is just something else.
I mean, there's very little of him that we don't see, especially when he's in his little Speedos on the beach.
Yes. Yeah, there are a number of sex scenes throughout this film. Like, if you think that The Room is bad with the sex scenes, this dials it up quite a lot, I think, in comparison. I mean, there's a lot of sex scenes, but none of them are sexy. When you see them kissing, it was like he was kissing his grandma. It was just like a peck. I'm like, you're supposed to be like fucking carnalistic. This is the first time you two have met, and there was just nothing. Like it just wasn't sexy at all, which made it funny as fuck.
It felt like their partners were in the room watching them.
It did a bit, didn't it?
Because
It was so stilted and horrible.
There's one where they're lying on not him, the other one with a ponytail. He's adversary.
A bearded bad guy. I don't know the name, so I've just started like giving them all nicknames.
when he gets to his love scene and he's just stroking a leg, and you can just see his tongue's just out like a lizard.
I watched it again. Like I've watched it 3 times this week because I just keep laughing at bits of it, and it's so funny. And that sex scene came on, and the 3rd time I saw it, and I was still pissing myself laughing at it because it's so horrendously shot.
I mean, I was watching it in the middle of the afternoon, and I didn't have headphones on. I thought, well, there's gonna be no reason it's Samurai Cop. Didn't expect it to be like Channel 5.
Yeah.
So it was that kind of secondhand guilt that you used to get when you watching said Channel 5 and Red Shoe Diaries with your parents around. And it's hard. Don't come in when this is on.
Yeah, you want nobody to see you watching this.
It's just shameful. Yeah, the blonde cop was the highlight of the whole film. But
she was great.
Well, yeah. 2 main parts, but it was the fact that everyone was wearing stonewashed jeans with black shoes, and then it said that they had to they were, because they couldn't afford anything there, to wear their own clothes, so they are their own clothes.
That they were, yeah, that's right. Like they just didn't have a budget to do anything, so I think there's a lot of guerrilla filmmaking going on here.
When they're speeding up the footage of the car chases as well, even though it's blatantly obvious where it's going around corners against physics.
Yeah.
And of all of them, I'm lost for words to talk about it because it's so insane.
After that first sex scene with Samurai Cop and Blonde Cop, it then cuts to them in the police offices, and Samurai Cop is sat there in front of Blonde Cop talking to Black Cop and Old Cop, and says, "So I'm lying there in bed with probably the most beautiful woman I've ever met." You're talking about someone else right in front of Blonde Cop, and she just gets offended by it. And then Old Cop just fucks off mid-anecdote. with no reason, like, oh, I can't listen to any more of this, and just walks off. The director, apparently, and the editor, they just let shots play out because there was no script as such to go with. So there's a lot of improv going on here, and I think you can tell it. Like the next scene in the hospital, I think this demonstrates the fact that there is a lot of just ad-lib and improv going on. So Black Detective says to Who a Nurse, "We will be able to ask him any questions." "No way, his lips are burnt." Okay, right. And then the Who a Nurse says to Samurai Cop, "Do you like what you see?" Talking about the victim who is burnt to a fucking crisp. And Samurai Cop replies with, "I love what I see." The nurse then, as if she's talking to Samurai Cop, asks, "Would you like to touch it?" Then he asks, would you like to take me out? And then asks, "Would you like to fuck me?" And then when he says yes to each one of them, she grabs his dick and says, "Did you get circumcised? Did they cut too much off?" And then like walks away. And then the Black Cop comes out and goes, "Hey, hey, hey," because he's a black stereotype through everything. Like they just cut to him occasionally to see a face pull, him say "shit," "damn." Like, what the fuck are you doing in this movie? Brilliant. Just brilliant.
I mean, there's later on when the one of them confronts him and tries to the Black Cop, and he goes, he's got a knife. He pulls a knife on him, and he's just got out of the shower, so he pulls his tail away, and I can relieve you of this gift, this black gift.
the amount of times they make reference to his blackness, like it almost becomes offensive because, like, why do you keep doing it? You've got the bit where, so after his car explodes and
The joke.
Black Cop says, Captain's gonna burn my ass. Samurai Cop, damn right he'll burn it. Charcoal black. Black Cop, it is black. Samurai Cop, right on. And then only 7 minutes later do we get a callback when something else happens. Black Cop says, Captain will burn my ass again. Samurai Cop then says, you won't have to worry about that. It's already... Black Cop, yeah, burnt. It's already black, isn't it? This time he'll probably cut my dick off too. And then Blonde Cop, who was just fucked Samurai Cop, says, you better come to my house before you go to see the captain. Black Cop, for what? Female Cop, let's use it before you lose it. And then Blonde Cop says to the old cop, after everyone else has walked off, hey, we've got nothing to do. Let's fuck. Oh, she's such a hooah that I love her. She's amazing.
Remember that real life story of that police woman who shagged everyone?
Yes, I remember that. From a couple of years ago. She was from like fucking Nebraska or somewhere weird.
Yeah, and it's like six of the office had been with her or something. That's what it reminded me of.
I have actually sent a message to Edgar Wright on Blue Sky, but he hasn't got back to us because it reminded me of Olivia Colman's character in Hot Fuzz. You know how like everything that was said, she turned into a double entendre.
Yeah.
Like when she mentioned manpower and she was like, I'd like some manpower. That's what Blonde Cop was like throughout this film. Everything she just turned into trying to get fucked, basically. We got quite a lot of boob in this film. And like it was good 90s boob as well at this point, I think. Yeah, even for 91, variety. It was like, oh, we've moved on. We're out of the 80s now. We've got, like, the only thing that was missing was a nipple piercing almost, I think.
Yeah, there's all different sizes and shapes, and there's nice variety.
It was. I think we had like 4 different boobs in a 90-minute film.
And I thought the one with the wife.
I forgot about her. So we had 4.5 different women's boobs. Yeah. Oh my god! When he cut her throat, like I thought it was going to go Clockwork Orange and that was going to be a rape scene. And I was a bit like, that's a bit much. But then when he slit her throat and it was quite clearly just like ketchup or something smeared across her throat and looked awful. But that was a very funny scene that was played out terribly. Yeah, like most of it, to be fair.
It was just a blood blade. But then
yeah,
the one that they used on him was better in the same scene.
Yeah. From what I can tell, I think they had 2 swords, one of which was plastic and one of which was at least metal. And like you could clearly tell when the plastic one was on screen. But there were scenes where like they were sharing guns because they only had a few guns on set. So you'd see bits where like Samurai Cop's holding I don't know guns, but say a Smith & Wesson. And then it would turn to the guy who's shooting back at him and he's holding the exact same gun at him. Because they just didn't have the weapons to share around. It was so ridiculous.
I mean, there were times where the amount of shooting around corners in this film, or shooting around the side of trees, or buildings, or barrels, or whatever, and they'd do one thing, and then they'd cut to the other perspective, and then they'd just show the same footage again. Yeah.
The amount of times that you saw like someone get shot and the squib go off like 3 or 4 seconds later. Or actually say when they were hiding behind glass. So like, that's not going to stop a bullet. The amount of silly bollocks like that was high on that stuff.
And there was different people as well. Like someone would get killed and then they'd be back in a different coat, getting killed again.
The guy who had his arm cut off, I'm sure we saw him at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Terrible. Right, okay, so we need to rank these on 5 categories, Stu. Kaboom quotient, which is how gloriously over the top the action is. if there are any explosions, impractical weapons, improbable stunts, the plot pretzel, which is how twisted, nonsensical, or hilariously convoluted the story is. Is there a message to the madness? Is there a deeper meaning going on behind any of this nonsense? The ham and cheese index, which is the acting scale. Is it hammy? Is it cheddar sharp cheese? And then the overall what the fuckness, which is the pure absurdity factor. Moments that make you rewind and say, what did I just watch? Let's start with the plot pretzel, Stu. I don't know where to start. I've got to face. This film's all over the place. It's, in theory, it is a story about a cop and his partner taking on the Yakuza. However, this film is almost not chronological. Like, there are bits that feel out of place. There's parts where he's filmed in one setting, the camera cuts, and it's clearly a different set. And it's like it feels like sketches. It feels like I'm watching a sketch show because they're sort of like loosely connected, but not really. And you can't quite tell where you are. You can only guess because of his fucking haircut or if they're in a hospital. It's a very basic plot that they've just fucked with so much that it does become a pretzel and like loops back on itself in several parts. So I've given this much higher than I probably would have done because I feel that the lived experience of the film is so much more of a pretzel than it should have been. So I've given it a 9 for this.
I'll give it a 7. Mainly because there is actually quite a lot going on, but not in a fun Pulp Fiction way.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, you say like the continuity errors. I mean, they're all over the place. The color grading in the same scene is different. Like, it looks like from one, it looks like the stereotypical version of Mexico, where it's all oranged out, and then from the other perspective, it's the white balance is all off, and it looks like a sci-fi film. And it wouldn't surprise me if they only had one camera, and they just couldn't be arsed.
100%, yeah.
So from technical point of view, it's an absolute joke. But
yeah,
like the whole thing with the Yakuza stuff, and he's like, yeah, no man left behind, and the guy going to cut the guy's head off as well, and the whole thing of hiding in the bucket.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so that's happened, and now what's going to happen next? Is this even going to be referenced, or is this just an excuse to cut someone's head off in a hospital? So I thought we were
absolutely that, yeah.
And then they get out of the lift, which is just clearly a cupboard, because it's way too small to be a lift.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to Samurai. I mean, he looked like Andy Carroll at times.
It was when beard. It was the cap and wig look that made him look like Andy Carroll, because there's a couple of bits where he does look properly, but it's the fake wig that makes him look more like Andy Carroll. It's the Charlie's Angels Farrah Fawcett era of hairdos that wig is. And when they were running around in the police station, he's got the cap and the ponytail version of the wig on. That was spectacular.
Look up Dave Hill in 70s Dave Hill Slade, and there's times
with the fringe higher than our hairline. Yeah,
there's times where before he had that fringe, where he looks at when he's looking, the camera's just on his face and he's looking kind of serious. He looked like Dave Hill as well.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see that definitely. I haven't seen Dave Hill around Wolverhampton for a while. I hope he's all right.
No, I ain't either, actually.
No. Like, you'd always bump into him because he, like, fucking loves it, doesn't he? But no.
He's got nothing else to do.
No. Well, I mean, it's Christmas time, so he's probably busy at this time of year.
Yeah, because they're not going to get noddy, are they? Too busy.
Yeah, that's it. He's got nuts to sell, hasn't he? The Kaboom quotient then, Stu, what have you got for this?
I mean, it's all bad. It's all terrible. But it's still there, and they still try. And there is a lot of it. I've gone 7 again.
I've gone 7. Yeah, I've gone 7 too.
Because, like, they can't, if the the cars are the actors' own cars. They're not going to be throwing them around corners and stuff.
Exactly.
And there's like that one scene where they've parked it and then they just start when they go down that track at the side of the main freeway. And all you have to do is literally a second earlier, just cut the second where you see the car starting. That's all you needed.
There were a number of scenes where they just didn't do that. So, like, the scene where we meet the captain and the two cops are talking to him, and the one cop kisses him on the head.
Yeah.
And then the detective, the lieutenant, captain, whatever, stands up and shouts, "You motherfuckers, get out of here!"
Then he laughs.
And then he pauses for at least 30 seconds, sits down and laughs. Like, why the fuck have you left that in? It was so uncomfortable to watch. There were a number of scenes like that. There was another one where Old Cop, I think it was Old Cop, comes in and says, "Oh, these Yakuza, they're at this restaurant, where," and he stumbles over his lines. Why didn't you just fucking re-record that? There was like a few where he's just like, I don't know what you're doing, because it's so badly made. I know that's going off topic from the Kaboom quotient, but I feel like there's a lot to talk about with this film. You are right, though. I mean, like, there's not a lot, but there's enough that makes it kind of fun. Like, it's not a demolition derby. They're clearly taking good care of their cars because they are their cars. So I get it. We get one van explosion, I think, don't we? At one point, which is all right. We get a few shootouts where car windows get done in. And there's a couple of like the hallway shootout in the hospital where people are just jogging around. It kind of felt like Garth Marenghi's Dark Place in parts. So I don't know if I've given it a 7 because I enjoyed it more than it's actually good.
Well, it doesn't have to be good.
No, absolutely not. Like, it's earned its 7 by making me enjoy it.
Yeah, and they do set an actual man on fire, but you can clearly see he's got the fire retardant stuff all over his head because he's covered in it.
Yeah.
But he's on fire for quite a long time before they go and spray him and put the cape over him. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they did try some things. I mean, they had some ambition. It was just they didn't have the money to fulfill it, obviously.
Yeah, it was Michael Bay on a budget. It was Michael Beige, maybe, I think, also. Like, it just wasn't quite there, was it? But regardless, it was fun. Like, there's just no message in the madness, is there, really? Like, again, I feel like I'm scrabbling in the dark to find something. Like, there's in the 80s, I suppose we would have been coming past the East versus West anxiety that had happened post-World War II. Probably hadn't quite moved on from it until more into the 90s. So maybe there's a little bit of that, but it kind of feels like the Yakuza's kind of cool. So we'll put them in as the bad guys in this movie. It doesn't feel... It feels accidental how they've stumbled across any message more so than like any actual profundity from the writing that just didn't exist on this film. Yeah,
this was like a cool idea that you come up with in the pub and you make it. There's nothing beyond this.
Yeah,
nothing
100%. Yeah, definitely. The ham and cheese charter, Stu. Oh, sorry, we haven't done the scores, have we, on the message? I've given it a 4, which again, I feel like I'm being a bit generous there.
2.
Like, I think it may be a 2, yeah. I'll stick with my 4, I think, but I think because I gave last week's The Ambulance a 4, I think, if I remember correctly. And I don't feel like there was any message to that either. I gave that a 5. Yeah, I'll stick with my 4. 4 and a 2 then, Stu. Ham and cheese charter, the acting scale. Do you reckon?
10. Absolute 10.
It's got to be on it. It just has to be. There is nothing... Is this the cheesiest we've seen?
I mean, it's the worst acting-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, the only one who seems like an actual actor is the chief behind his desk, and that he's absolutely pushing it.
Yeah, because I think his acting just extends to him shouting "motherfucker" as many times as he can.
We're all going to get fired.
All he did.
I mean, we're all going to get fired and go get the Japs.
fucking hell, they were crazy. Just like it's genuinely one of those where you say it wouldn't be made today, and I don't think it would, but probably for the right reasons. In fairness, I think we could do better now. There's a lot of nonsense going on. I think the wig for Joe, like, he's wonderful how he carries it off. Being the most earnestly sincere pervert I've ever seen in any film ever. He really carries it quite well. Frank, the interstitial shots when other people are talking just to get his facial reactions that add nothing, but they're just wonderful and they make the film. Yeah, it's a 10. Like it's as close to perfect for absurdity as we're gonna get, I think.
Like they do the whole black joke stuff, like they did with O.J. Simpson in Naked Gun.
Yes, yeah, they did, didn't they? Except for that was clearly a joke, whereas this wasn't. I don't think was intended to be a joke. I just think it's so bad. So the overall what the fuck factor on this one? What you got, Stu?
9. Because, like, when you said I'm interested to see your reaction, your review of this, and I just didn't want to say anything because there's nothing to say. It's like The Matrix where you have to experience it for yourself. It's beyond words.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like how I thoroughly enjoyed The Ambulance, and that was actually good at times. This is shit. It's really, really bad, but it's hilarious. It doesn't matter if it was supposed to be or not. It just is, and it deserves to be in that conversation with The Room. There's times where it's worse than The Room.
Yeah. Because like I said, there's a lot of silence in this film that really there shouldn't be.
It's only an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's only an hour and a half, and I think if they'd have removed a lot of the parts that needed editing, it would have probably been like 25 minutes. There's just too much nothing going on in this film. But that's why I've given it a 10, because in spite of all of that, I've watched it 3 times this week because I really fucking enjoyed it. I had a great laugh watching this movie.
And it's like the whole thing is dubbed as well. The whole thing.
All of it is ADR. Every single, like, it is proper The Room in that sense.
Because I thought, because it was the first time of watching it on using a USB stick and on Dolby Atmos, which is completely unnecessary.
For this,
yeah, for this. And I put it on 3D just to simulate it, and then it made no difference, obviously, because it was barely stereo. And I thought, well, there's clearly something wrong with this, but okay. And then the lip syncing was okay in the next scene. I thought, oh. And then it was not okay, literally in the same scene, seconds later. So, without even a camera cut, it just went.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't even tried. Ridiculous film, but hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to go into that category with films like Trespass and The Room and Money Plane. These films that are terrible, but I know that if I've got 90 minutes, that's going to feed my brain all I need it to. It's just going to give me that. Like, we don't need a nice steak for every meal. Sometimes you just want a dirty hamburger, and this is what that film is for me.
It's not even a dirty it's like them boiled Frankfurter burger, them boiled ham things that you used to get in Dudley Street from the man opposite the Starbucks. That's what the kind of burger this is, and it doesn't fill you up. It's an okay experience until you get the aftertaste. About 2 hours later that you can't shift until you get to bed. But in the moment, it's good fun. And it's only £1.60. So
that's it. Does the trick, doesn't it? Right, so No, it says it's 1981, but I think it was actually 1991, but I think it was actually filmed early, so I think it was in the 80s. I'm having a quick look on IMDb. There's only 3 critics who've actually reviewed it, and they've all given it a 1 out of 5, or 3 of them. Oh, one gave him a 0 out of 5. I have no plans on ever watching Samurai Cop again. Terrible. But it's got a 4.6 on IMDb, so I think it is that kind of film where people are going to hate it, but you're also going to get a lot of people giving it 10s because of how fun it is. And that's enough, really, isn't it?
I mean, it does make me intrigued to watch the sequel.
Yeah.
But are they
Samurai
going
Cop 2 Deadly Vengeance from 2015.
Is it him?
It's him. It's him with the hair. I don't think it's a wig this time. And I think, yes, he is. Tommy Wiseau is in the film as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah, but they're obviously in on the joke, though, at this point.
They're going to have to be, aren't they? And I mean, looking at I'm silently watching the trailer on IMDb here. And it looks like they're on a spaceship. It's 25 years later, and yet they're in space, it seems. And Tommy Wiseau is wearing the... Oh, what was his name? Was it Kato? Bruce Lee's character in Green Hornet. He's wearing the Kato mask. I think we might need... Yeah. I'm going to try and watch this week, I think. Because the next film we'll do, Stu, moving on slightly, so the next film is going to be Free Jackers, which I did mention. Let's just pull up the IMDb of Free Jackers. So that's the one with Emilio Estevez and Mick Jagger. Bounty hunters from the future transport a doomed race car driver to New York City in 2009, where his mind will be replaced with that of a dead billionaire. I mean, what the fuck is that? Mick Jagger, Emilio Estevez, Anthony Hopkins. Directed by Jeff Murphy. Not a name I'm familiar with. Oh, God. He did Under Siege 2, Dark Territory.
Oh.
Did he do the first one? He did The Last Outlaw, Blind Side. I vaguely remember that TV movie. Young Guns 2. I like Young Guns 2. Didn't know he was that one. He's got a couple of half-decent films in this. I'm quite looking forward to that. So if you do that, if you get chance as well, then it might be worth us trying to squeeze in, like we've done this week with Fire, Ice and Dynamite. Let's do Samurai Cop 2 Deadly Vengeance. It's got 3.4 on IMDb. I fear this may fall over from being camp fun to just being camp. I'm intrigued to see where it goes. Because I wasn't expecting this to be as fun as it was ultimately. So maybe we'll see. The director of number 2 is Gregory Hatanaka, who's got 50 credits to his name. Jesus. Sorority House Guillotine is his latest film. Mean Streets, I don't know what that is because he's got an 8. What the fuck is that? Ex-convict finds himself drawn back to a life of crime. Okay. That does not look like the kind of film that I suspect to get an 8. Oh, it's only got 16 reviews, that's why. Okay. He looks like he does a lot of Drake. A lot of Drake. Got some Christmas films on here though, Stu. A Christmas Love from 2020.
Probably seen it.
Let's have a look. I'm like wading through expecting to see a Nicolas Cage film in here somewhere. A couple struggling to make ends meet are given a new chance by the arrival of a mysterious letter that grants them one special wish during the holiday season. Starring Chris Spinelli, Craig Jussi Danielle. Don't know who that is. I don't recognise anyone on here.
Everyone who's in a Hallmark lifestyle Netflix Christmas film is never going to do work again.
Yeah, so. That is very true. That is very true. Intrigued. Right, I've added up the scores anyway, Stu. It has got a very strong 75%,
Yes.
which I think is entirely fair. That puts it, so Toxic Avenger is on 88. Like I feel like that's probably going to be untouchable. Running Man, Big Trouble are both on 82. Then we've got Samurai Cop on 75, so it's in fourth place. They Live is one behind on 74. And then we're down to They Call Me Macho Woman, The Ambulance, and Jim Carter are in the relegation places. Oh, and You're the Hunter from the Future, comes in just ahead of Jim Carter. But yeah, 75, that's a strong score in that is. Right, okay, that's us done this week. Please join us next week where we'll be talking about Christmas present. We'll be then doing Absurd Autumn, continuing on into the winter with Free Jackers, as I've already described. Make sure you've got us on whatever podcatcher that you listen to us on. And if you could leave us a 5-star review, we will love you forever. And for this week, Stu, would you like to say goodbye?
Right on. Goodbye.
It's goodbye from me too. And remember, be excellent to each other.